let us start. Now we will be discussing about Stolen. Well, it is a survival thriller in terms of film genre, but deep down it talks about illegal surrogacy and other complex social issues. I'll begin the discussion by asking my first question, which is for everyone. The question is, so, guys, Stolen was premiered at multiple film festivals where it was naturally screened on the big screen. So, you guys already have an experience of witnessing live audience reactions inside a theater. But the film eventually released on Amazon Prime. एंड आई मस्ट से while watching it मुझे तो ऐसा बहुत बार लग रहा था कि काश मुझे ये फिल्म बिग स्क्रीन पे देखने को मिल जाए because given the film's technical aspects one is bound to feel that it would have hit differently if released in theaters. So the issue with OTT platforms is that लोग घर में आराम से बैठ के देखते हैं and you never get the chance to witness live reactions coming from different kinds of audiences. So can you share your thoughts on this? I mean, do you see it as a problem? And how do you perceive this neo relationship between filmmakers and audiences in the time of OTTs?
Um, who wants to go first? Abhishek, you want to take it?
Well, I can take it. I mean, see, I've seen the thing is that the kind of reactions you're talking about, yes, I have seen that, firsthand, and it's amazing. Uh, in Mami, I think the way the crowd was cheering, it seemed like a blockbuster film releasing on the first Friday. It was like that. I was actually quite shocked to see that kind of response. But the thing is that when we were making this film, we were always very sure that we are trying to make an entertaining, engaging film. But there's a tag attached to probably the festival films. There's a situation happening, and this is not anybody's fault. This is even the audience is somehow they feel the films which have traveled in the festivals are basically niche films. They are not for common consumption, and basically बेकार में intellectualize हो जाता है उस film का. So now there was a big risk with regards to releasing something like this in theaters. I mean, we don't know how our audience is going to react, and also I feel this is the first time after many years an indie film is getting this kind of attention from the masses
Right.
also.
Right.
Usually a good festival run guarantees you great reviews and people talking about it, the important people talking about it. But as you can see that the way it's trending, whether in India or globally, the general public, they're really going ahead and watching it. I'm shooting in Bhopal, and somebody just told me that his elder brother in Bhopal has watched Stolen, and they didn't know that I'm shooting with him, so they watched it generically. That's the kind of. So I feel that this is the beginning of getting that kind of these kind of independently made entertaining film into the mainstream scenario. So whenever we have to, I think yeah, I think that's what Gaurav's vision is, or KT. I mean, I think we all want to, of course, bring our films to theater, but this is a very good start, and we're getting so many eyeballs because of one platform. हम 200 300 400 screen में release करते, we had no idea कि क्या होता क्या नहीं होता. There was a
Mhm.
lot of guessing game. The kind of money you have to put in marketing, that's huge. India is a huge country. So yeah, I mean that all. I think OTT. That's why it's a savior for films like these. Or you can take those chances where you are guaranteed that okay, audience to hai. Now whether they're going to watch it or not, that completely depends on your product. You can't force them to watch anything on OTT.
Right.
I can say one thing,
Agreed.
yeah, as filmmakers, whether we are actor or whether we are a director, writer, producer, everybody wants their film to be seen in a big screen, right? It's a dream that all of us have. Now, the economics behind it is something that as we are cognizant as filmmakers because we want to continue making films, right? Now, if you let's say Stolen, you need to put a lot of money behind the Hindi market to reach the Hindi market, right? Which is the north part of the country. North part of the country is economically not as robust as the southern part of the country, right? The ticket prices are higher in in northern part. In the southern part, देर आर कैप ऑन टिकट सेल्स, कितने कितने रुपए की बेच सकते हो, इस पे कैप है। रीज लैंग्वेज का ब्लॉकिंग नहीं है, तमिलनाडु में ही होगी, कन्नड़ा कन्नड़ा में होगी। तो अगर आप हिंदी फिल्म का स्कोप देखो तो उसका पैसा बनाना बहुत मुश्किल है, क्योंकि उसका जो इकोसिस्टम है वो है नहीं। और इंडिपेंडेंट फिल्मों के लिए तो और नहीं है, तभी तो आपको एक बड़ा स्टार चाहिए, एक ओपनिंग वीकेंड चाहिए 200 करोड़ का। यू नो जो स्टार है वो क्या है? वो एक इन्फ्लुएंसर है, वो इन्फ्लुएंस कर रहा है लोगों को, वो मार्केटिंग का खर्चा है एक्चुअली, वो प्रोडक्शन का खर्चा नहीं है। आप समझ रहे हो? लेकिन जो हमारी फिल्म है वो उसका फर्स्ट डे से लॉजिक है कि स्क्रीन पे पैसे डालेंगे। यू नो
हाँ।
प्रोड्यूसिंग इज नॉट अबाउट पैसे खर्चना, प्रोड्यूसिंग इज अबाउट वेयर टू स्पेंड द मनी,
राइट।
not spending the money, and where not to spend the money. What is not on screen, we are not going to invest in. And all these stakeholders in the film that you're talking to right now are all unified on that vision and did their bit to make sure that that is achieved till now. So what we did eventually is that we on one day reached the whole globe, which was the vision of the film. And अगर अगर ऐसी अपॉर्चुनिटी हमें थिएट्रिकल डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन में ऐसी मिल जाती कि हमारा पूरा दुनिया बिक जाता। हमारे पास बहुत सारे ऑफर्स थे, लेकिन अगर हम एक ऑफर ले लेते, सपोज करिए हम जर्मनी का ऑफर ले लेते जो हमारे पास था, या फ्रांस का ऑफर ले लेते, या यूके का ऑफर ले लेते, या कोई भी कंट्री का ले लेते, तो जैसे ही आप थिएटर में लगाओगे 2 दिन में पायरेट हो जाएगी फिल्म।
या।
तो 2 दिन में पायरेट हो जाएगी, तो मेरी मेन मार्केट जो है इंडिया, वहां तो बिकी नहीं है अभी तक फिल्म, तो फिर वहां बिकेगी नहीं। तो हमारे पास बहुत सारे ऑफर्स थे थिएट्रिकल के, हमने लिए नहीं। इसलिए नहीं लिए क्योंकि हमें साइमल्टेनियसली रिलीज नहीं मिल रही, और अगर साइमल्टेनियसली रिलीज नहीं मिल रही तो फिल्म पायरेट हो जाएगी, फिर पायरेट हो जाएगी तो बिकेगी नहीं, तो फिर हम कैसे बेचेंगे?
या।
तो एक ओटीटी एक आपको एक जगह देता है, लेकिन अभी फिल्म जा चुकी है हमारे हाथ से, और अब ऑडियंस के हाथ में है जो होना है। यू नो हमने कर दिया अपना काम, अब वो कर रहे हैं जो उनका काम है। तो फॉर डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन आई वुड से एज अ फिल्म मेकर, यू वांट टू बी इन थिएटर्स, बट यू हैव टू मिक्स, you have to see the realities of where you are, and if that reality tells you that this is a better platform and better place to have global distribution, then you do that.
Thanks, Gaurav. So, Karan, uh,
I think they've covered everything. I don't. I mean, this is exactly what it is. I think this
Yeah.
whole idea about global distribution is very important because this is a kind of film that can be watched by people around the world. ये किसी एक सिर्फ इंडियंस के लिए या सिर्फ राजस्थानी लोगों के लिए नहीं है ये पिक्चर, इज फॉर आई थिंक द होल वर्ल्ड टू कंज्यूम। तो आई थिंक दैट वाज अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग दैट ऑल ऑफ अस बिलीव्ड इन। एंड इंडिया से फिल्म में अगला मनी हाइस्ट बनना चाहिए, इंडिया से अगला पैरासाइट बननी चाहिए। फिल्में जो पूरी दुनिया में लोग देख रहे हैं, नॉट जस्ट विनिंग अवार्ड्स एट फेस्टिवल्स बट actually playing across the world to audiences. That should be the aim. And I think because of that reason, the choice of Amazon made a lot of sense to us.
all right. So now, Karan, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
You have already said in many interviews about the real incident that actually inspired you to make this film.
Yeah.
But could you tell us what motivated you to mold the film's raw message into a genre like survival thriller?
Well, it's so difficult to get people to sit down and watch movies. It's become a challenge each year, and each with TikTok and Instagram and Facebook and पता नहीं क्या क्या, तो बहुत मुश्किल हो गया है to capture your audience's interest. तो कुछ टाइम पुरानी बात है, मतलब 8-10 साल पहले मैंने when I started to see the kind of impact that Korean films, South American movies. A lot of these makers around the world, not only here but around the world, were actually being able to tell much stronger, deeper stories using genre. So
Yeah.
genre was only the is only the vehicle. अब आपको जाना है दिल्ली से बॉम्बे, अब आप प्लेन में जाओ, ट्रेन में जाओ, गाड़ी में जाओ, जाना आपको उधर है। So for me, I want my stories to reach the maximum number of people. I believe deeply in my stories. They are very personal to me, and beyond telling these stories just just for the sake of telling. I mean, filmmaking is a very expensive, highly indulgent art form. उसमें बहुत लोग, बहुत पैसा, बहुत टाइम जाता है. फिर आप पिक्चर बनाओ जो 10 लोग देखें, क्योंकि मतलब that's not for me.
Yeah,
It is
yeah,
not for me.
understand.
I
Yeah.
want my movies to be watched by millions of people so that my ideas and my stories reach millions of people, and people understand, like, about the subjects that I want to talk about, the characters that I want to represent. So for me, it is very important, very simply put, that I want my film to be accessible to a wide audience. Within that accessibility to a wide audience, I want to tell personal stories that have meaning. तो ये एक बड़ा अच्छा कॉम्बिनेशन है, टू बी एबल टू टेल सच थिंग्स. ओवर एंड अबव दैट, आई लव जॉनर. मुझे बड़ा मजा आता है. तो अब मुझे मजा आता है
ठीक.
जिसमें, तो आई गेस आई वुड लाइक टू ऑल्सो, मतलब
Yeah,
थोड़ा
yeah.
सा देयर इज द पर्सनल चॉइस ऑफ द मेकर ऑल्सो विद इन दैट, तो वो है.
And can you name some specific films that influenced you while making story? Like you were saying that Korean films का South Korean films का एक
So
experience था.
I mean, yeah, three. I would. I mean, there are. Well, you are always affected by movies. I mean, that's why it's
Yeah.
difficult to really say. But I'll take three. I mean, three particular films that I can say very specifically if were sort of part of that inspiration for Stolen, or that I got inspired them from them to make Stolen, or they affected the making of Stolen. Is Son of Saul, Victoria, and Good Time.
Now I have a question for Abhishek. Uh, Abhishek, you are one of the finest actors in the country right now. I mean, I've thoroughly enjoyed your performances over the last few years. But the
Thank you.
characters you have
Thank you, SF. Thank you.
So, no, my pleasure. So, the characters you have played before were, I mean, purely fictional. They were the creations of a writer or director's imagination, specifically designed for either a horror comedy or a fantasy or a thriller. And as a result, we have so far judged them on a binary scale. Like, they were either negative characters or those meant to provide a comic relief. But in Stolen, you have had a full character arc. I mean, there's a starting point followed by a transformation, and by the time the film ends, your character is no longer the same person he was at the beginning. So, can you share your initial thoughts and how did you prepare yourself for the character?
Yeah, I ended up doing Gotham, but I was offered Raman. Uh, yeah, so that's, I mean, I don't know, yeah. I mean, when they came to me, the film, the story, I feel that it did not need any kind of acting. I think that was the first point. वो बोलते हैं ना sometimes that अरे act नहीं करना है, acting करना है, but in different mediums you have to, like, exactly what to do. You have to play with the audience in commercial films and all of that. And there is a different gear to that.
Yeah.
And I usually like changing gears. Like, I don't like doing very similar kind of formats because it bores me. And the minute I start getting bored, for me, the whole fun of acting just, like, dies away. And so, yeah, this was a very different format of shooting. It was very immersive, that the way Katie had designed. So long takes, and you are not necessarily facing the camera or OS, and all of those kind of setup which you usually are used to. So here the idea was to just live and be in the situation. This is the most honest thing an actor can do, just to be in the situation and then react. And because of Shubham and Mia, I mean, they're fantastic actors themselves. So for me, the whole job was to just react to these two actors. And I somehow feel that we three never discussed it, but somehow we seamlessly took the lead of certain scenes. And it was not about ki who is trying to opa who. It was about everybody's playing their part, and they're letting the other part, take the lead when it's required in the script. So it was a very interesting and unique experience, and I feel I've learned of a trick or two after working in Stolen, which I'm trying to implement in my other performances now. What I'm doing. So yeah, let's see how now that changes. Now I'm because I always feel that when you do a good project, it changes the way you act. Ajji made me a confident actor, so that's why I could do Stree. Because of Stree, I could do multiple, comedy films. and because of Ajji, I could do Patal Lok and stuff like that. So every character, somehow, every character, every film and director, they all teach an actor, and that's what happened with me in this one. So let's see future.
I wish you all the best.
Thank you, brother.
So let's move on to the next question. And this is for everyone. See, vigilantism is portrayed as a major mishap in the film. I mean, the part where Abhishek, Shubham, and Mia confront a mob, followed by the chase sequence, made me really uncomfortable. I mean, it was filled with tension, yet it also caused a deep sense of unease. So, this vigilantism is a grave concern for us today. How do you guys perceive this problem in the digital era where misinformation spreads faster than expected?
I mean, I mean, it's only going to get worse, man. AI can now make videos that you won't be able to tell only. कुछ भी बुलवा सकते हैं, कुछ भी दिखा सकते हैं आपको. आगे जाके ऐसे होने वाला है. तो
हाँ
पता ही नहीं
एआई आ
होगा
गया
क्या
मतलब।
सच है. हाँ, अब क्या सच है, क्या झूठ है, पता ही नहीं लगने वाला. ऑलरेडी नहीं पता हमारे को. आगे जाने में हमारे को पता ही नहीं चलेगा. क्या असली है, क्या नकली है. इट इज गोइंग टू कॉज मच मोर केओस. इसके पीछे लड़ाई झगड़े हो सकते हैं बहुत हाई लेवल के. यू नो तो आई डोंट नो. आई मीन, ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट सब्जेक्ट है. और मतलब मैं बोल नहीं सकता आपको. मैं तो सिर्फ एक स्टोरी टेलर हूँ और मैं तो कहानी बना के बता दी है. बट मेरे को लगता है दैट दिस इज वेरी डेंजरस एंड आई डोंट थिंक दैट वी कैन कंट्रोल इट.
I think we are no more in the era of breaking news.
Yeah,
This is not an era where you like, there's a news which breaks and everybody reacts. I think now everybody wants to fact check the
yeah, yeah.
news, whatever we are getting.
It's very
We have to be
important what you
smarter
said,
than to deal
Abhishek,
with it.
that we are no longer the part of that, breaking news. क्योंकि मुझे कहीं ना कहीं लगता है कि that breaking news has already vanished from our life. I mean, मैं किसी का
Yeah,
नाम नहीं
it's
लूंगा,
gone.
लेकिन
It's
कभी
gone.
भी अगर कोई भी मीडिया
हाँ.
ब्रेकिंग न्यूज करके कुछ दिखाता है तो फर्स्ट थॉट जो हमारे दिमाग में आता है कि फैक्ट चेक कर लेते हैं. सो गौरव, इफ यू,
Yes.
या,
I mean, it's a global pandemic of information today. So I feel very concerned that this is gonna increase as now technology, heightened technologies being added, to our normal life. This is gonna only go worse. Um, in terms of vigilantism and a mob going completely crazy, I think that it is primarily fueled by this misinformation, which the misinformation and the lack of action by the systems that are set up in our society. Like if you say that some robbery has happened at my house, now what do I do? What is the next step that I need to take? Is to go file a police report. You know, now that whole process is for the two Indias or multiple Indias is very different.
yeah,
I would call a friend who knows somebody up in the cop system, and I will get a certain kind of a treatment, and my robbery at my house will be treated in a certain way. But the guy who got this coffee for me right now, when he will report to the police, he will be treated differently.
yeah, yeah,
So the
absolutely.
system works, it's not a system, it works differently for different people. And therefore, a lot of people have lost trust in the system,
Yeah, yeah,
especially the ones who are not getting their voices heard or their complaints registered and a solution to be found for them.
yeah,
So eventually, when the system doesn't work, they take things on their own hand, coupled with an overload of information which can supply a host of information to you, which can just ignite stuff. So if your kid, I don't know if you're a father or if you're a parent, if your kid is picked up, what are you going to do? I mean, I'm a parent, if my kid is picked up, I'll go on a rampage. I'm not going to think. I'm going to kill, whoever.
I understand.
I'm gonna take every action in my arsenal to make sure that my kid is safe and back with me.
Yeah, that's the
So
nature.
ये इंडिया के अंदर बड़े सारे इंडियाज और उनकी बड़ी सारी कॉम्प्लेक्सिटीज, और जो डिवाइड है उसके अंदर जो लोग मार्जिनलाइज है उनकी कोई सुन नहीं रहा है बात. कुछ हो नहीं रहा उनका, वो वही है, तब से वही है। तो ये तो होना ही है, और होना है, और ये तो मतलब कुछ भी नहीं है, जो आगे आने वाला टाइम है बहुत स्कैरी है, बहुत ज्यादा इनफैक्ट।
That's really a grave concern for us.
Yeah, it is. I mean,
Yeah.
we are so consumed by the information and the lives that we are living. हम लोग ऐसे में है ना, अभी हमें कमाना जरूरी है, क्योंकि अगर नहीं कमाएंगे तो ये बिजली का खर्चा कैसे जाएगा, ये इतना
Yeah.
एक्सपेंसिव है और सबके लिए है, अब हम उसी में लगे हुए हैं। अब कोई सोचने का टाइम ही कहाँ है, किसके पास है टाइम? आपके पास ही नहीं है टाइम। क्या सोचेंगे कब, करेंगे कब? सब इतने डिवाइडेड हैं, इतनी सारी फ्रेगमेंटेशन है, रिच है, पुअर है, कास्ट है, रिलीजन है, कोई जुट ही नहीं सकता, और जुटने भी नहीं देना चाहता कोई किसी को। जुट जाएंगे तो फिर कुछ हो जाएगा,
Yeah.
यही मॉब बनेगा जो एक अलग एक्शन लेगा, अगर कोई
Yeah.
सोच के लेगा। तो रेवोल्यूशन भी तो एक मॉब ही करता है, एक ग्रुप ऑफ
हाँ,
पीपल ही करता
exactly.
है। रेवोल्यूशन भी तो वैसी ही होती है, वो सेंसिबल थॉट में
बिल्कुल।
जाती है, ये मिस इन्फॉर्मेशन में जाएगी, और ट्रस्ट नहीं होगा तो यही होगा, और होगा। और जितने एलॉन मस्क बनेंगे और जितने दूसरे गरीब लोग होते जाएंगे, ये तो होना ही है, और होना है।
And that's dangerous. I mean,
Yeah, that's
we,
that's completely dangerous, and that's why we want to highlight it. We are not providing any solutions, we are just highlighting it.
yeah.
The solution is to have trust in us, each other, to build trust in our society. It's easy to say, difficult to do, but yeah, that is the solution. That is a very simple solution, actually. But of course, simple to think and talk about, but not easy to do.
Yeah, and I noticed that the trust you're talking about, you have somehow encoded that trust in the film also. So it's really, I mean, I appreciate it. I think trust is the need of the hour.
Absolutely.
So Karan, I have another question for you. ये थोड़ा कॉम्प्लेक्स क्वेश्चन है, आई डोंट नो कि मैं कैसे आर्टिकुलेट करूं, बट लेट मी ट्राई. So I'm actually curious to know that how did you manage the balance of the storyline so that it doesn't feel like a cautionary tale of innocent city people stuck in a village landscape, but rather a film where city people choose to get their hands dirty to stand for something.
Um, we were quite conscious, that we didn't want to tell this hero savior syndrome film. We were very conscious, about these were many things that we were already conscious about, honestly. And yeah, matlab, धीरे धीरे करके with our collaborators, with the actors, with the writers, हम सब ने मिलके इसको पकाया है इस तरीके से. But I think that I would say कि yes, and we got feedback from many people, so I think at every stage we constantly kept putting ourselves out for, we put mirrors in front of ourselves, we put ourselves out to be criticized, to be, you know, I mean, we were very open with this process, and matlab, I don't know. I mean, I can't say कि हमने कोई 1 2 3 math लगाया और math की तरह हो गया, because filmmaking is not math. So
Yeah, yeah.
we were conscious about it. We tried, and that's how I think we made it happen somehow. इसी तरीके से, but there I don't know if there was any formula that we applied to it basically.
Yeah. So क्या वहाँ मेकिंग के टाइम पे वहाँ पे बहुत सारा इम्प्रोवाइजेशन के लिए स्पेस था? आई मीन.
I mean, yes and no. I would say
Alright.
it is a mix of that. I think, like I said, no, I mean, for me, the process is a lot of give and take. With the crew, with the cast, with the space, with the weather. It's everything affects how things play out and how we respond to things, etc. So yeah, I mean, and even improvisation. But हम लोग मतलब there would be deep discussions, and of course because the film is shot in sort of this very long take style, so in one way there were very fixed things. पहले से रिहर्स करके हम लोग अपनी ब्लॉकिंग और अपनी स्टेजिंग बहुत फिक्स्ड पहले से रिहर्स करके रखते थे, बार बार उसको रिहर्स करते थे, सो दैट दी एक्टर्स एंड द क्रू एंड ऑल को रट जाए वो. बट एक बार वो रट गई थी तो विद इन दैट बॉक्स देयर वाज रूम फॉर इम्प्रोवाइजेशन, देयर वाज रूम फॉर
हाँ.
आई मीन I mean, for the actors to play spontaneously, to play in a realistic fashion, and also because we were not doing cut from 25 angles, तो उनको कुछ रिपीट करने का प्रेशर नहीं होता था, तो दे हैड दैट एबिलिटी टू थोड़ा प्ले अराउंड एंड बी कंफर्टेबल। बट इतनी बार किया था तो देवर, वो उनके
हो गया
अंदर
था। हाँ।
बैठ चुका था, हाँ वो बैठ चुका था। So
Yeah.
they did not just do the improvisation out of thin air. It was all coming out of the
Right.
material we
Right.
were, working within and stuff like that. I think Abhishek might be able to give us a better, also give you a better.
Yeah, Abhishek, please.
No, no, exactly what he said. I think we were just given a structure and we were just trying to be around that. We were not trying to go away from the scene or anything like that. And we rehearsed it so many times that I don't think we had any options of improvising extra things also, because the camera movement, timing, everything was fixed. So though it looks like an improvised performance, many people are asking me, "Kare, improvise kya?" No, we actually just learned the lines well and delivered it
Uh-huh.
I don't know, just realistically. That's all.
Yeah. All right. And Karan, can you please tell us about your experience of working with Ishan Ghosh? I mean, I read somewhere that you shot almost 90% of the film with 35 and 25 lenses. Also, can you share the rationale behind that decision?
It was a very simple decision actually. ये सबसे पहले ले लिया था before Ishan came on the project. There were some other DPs etc. There were a lot of up down in that. but ये पहली decision ले लिया था because I wanted my film to be an experience for the audience where they are going on this journey, you know and to achieve that my audience is going on this journey, I wanted to make it give it a very immersive feel. Now immersiveness only comes with wide lenses. तो 25 और 32 दो वाइड लेंस आपके पास हैं, उससे आप नीचे चले जाओ 25 से तो इट बिकम्स फेक लुकिंग, 32 से ऊपर आप चले जाओ तो इट इज लॉन्ग लेंस, मीडियम, यू कैन से whatever. तो इट वाज अ वेरी इजी डिसीजन राइट इन द बिगिनिंग कि भाई इमर्सिव क्वालिटी चाहिए फिल्म को तो वाइड लेंसेज शूट करनी पड़ेगी. देन आई वांटेड अ सिंगल पर्सपेक्टिव. ना 25 एंड 35 आर वेरी क्लोज. पहले मैं एक ही लेंस सोच रहा था क्योंकि मेरे को एक ही पर्सपेक्टिव चाहिए था, बट 25 एंड 35 आर क्वाइट क्लोज टू ईच अदर.
Close,
आपको
yeah,
पता भी
yeah.
नहीं लग सकता है, पर अगर आप फिल्म को वापस देखेंगे जाके तो यू विल रियलाइज दैट सिंगल पर्सपेक्टिव more than anything else. मतलब
Uh,
single means not 100%, but 90% of the film is a single perspective,
yeah.
because the lens doesn't change, the blocking doesn't change, the camera position doesn't change, many other things fall into place because of that. So this gives it this very cohesive single look, like a very specific look actually, which was basically principle was I want to put my audience in the place next to these characters, going on this journey, feeling what the characters are feeling in a very personal, direct sense. So that is why we took those choices.
Yeah. And Karan, I have I mean, very personal question. So this question is very personal. Another question for you. Uh, See, along with Abhishek and Shubham, Mia has done a terrific job in Stolen. Yeah,
Amazing,
amazing, really. But
amazing.
I'm particularly curious about what led you to name her character Jhumpa Mahato. I mean, I'm asking this question because I come from a district in West Bengal, Purulia, where Mahatos are the
Yeah, yeah.
majority.
Correct,
Yeah.
correct, correct.
And I've grown up with them. So
Yeah.
her character felt deeply personal to me. Could you share the reason behind choosing the surname Mahato?
So, पहले इससे पहले ना, in the early before Mia came on board, the character was imagined as a Bangladeshi immigrant, like a illegal. She was imagined like that पहले ऐसे लिखा था उसको, whose work comes into India. इतना डिटेल में तो हम घुस नहीं रहे थे, पर वो कैरेक्टर का बैक स्टोरी था, you know. And she's a migrant labor, like many of them are in our country, and she, all of the other storylines that she goes through. When Mia came onto the project, I mean, base of base, Jhumpa was a marginalized character who represented the other side of the tracks. Simply put. तो वहां से शुरू हुआ, फिर उसको हमने बांग्लादेशी इमिग्रेंट बनाया. फिर मिया आई. बहुत पुरानी बात है ये. मिया केम ऑन टू द प्रोजेक्ट राइट इन 2020. तो फिर हमने उसको, मिया को जब ये बोला, तो मिया एक्चुअली came up with this idea because Mia has spent a lot of time in Purulia and she has deep contacts in Purulia with the Santhali people. तो उसने सजेस्ट किया कि यार इसको संथाल बनाते हैं. Santhals are
Yeah.
also across the country. They are migrant labor. They are going
Mhm.
through the same. So the troubles and the story of the backstory of the character was very similar, and she knew that very specific subculture and understood it very well. Yes. So actually, it was Mia's idea to make Jhumpa a Santhal from just a simply a Bengali character. And we, of course, I immediately jumped on that idea because if Mia had such specific knowledge about the region and the people, I was very interested in exploring that. तो उसके बाद
And
वो बाद में
and
character
he also went and went and did research on the ground. She went to meet
बिल्कुल
surrogate mothers who were in that
yeah
area. She did the work on the ground, met them, spent a couple
yeah
of days with them, understood their
yeah
lives, and brought it to the character. And
yes
she also helped us in some bit of dialogue from that, some
ऑल ऑफ इट मैंने डायलॉग इंग्लिश हिंदी में लिखे थे
But
उसके
that
बाद
reflect,
मिया ने
उसको
अपने फ्रेंड्स के साथ मिलके हम लोगों ने उसको फिर उसको
that
बनाया
I mean that research, her research was, I mean वो रिफ्लेक्ट कर रहा था, क्योंकि मैं क्यों कह रहा हूँ कि ये बहुत डीपली पर्सनल है मेरे लिए, क्योंकि द डायलेक्ट शी वाज यूजिंग वाज क्वाइट एप्ट. I mean
yeah.
I have
एग्जैक्टली
spent 25 years of my life with these people. I mean I have friends from this community. I mean
हम
I've
लोग शूटिंग के एक दिन पहले फोन करते थे उनके फ्रेंड्स को उनके साथ डायलॉग्स रिहर्सल करते थे कि यार ये सही तो बोल रहे हैं फोन पे ही फोन पे कभी कभी सेट पे करते थे कि यार ये वाला वर्ड हमें चेंज ये लाइन चेंज करनी पड़ रही है वर्क नहीं कर रही है हमें ऐसी लाइन बोलनी है तो ये सही चलेगी ऐसे करके हम बनाते थे तो
जैसे
वहीं के वहीं हम लोगों ने
more bitty, was something that she brought on as a nuance, not Meri
या
Beti, more bitty, which is
एग्जैक्टली
very authentic to that space, to that
अच्छा.
region.
So let's move on to the next question. This is for everyone. I'm curious about another thing. I mean, I came across one of your interviews where all of you were discussing how the distribution system coerces filmmakers to cut their films and how the festival circuits also prefer films with shorter run times. Anurag Kashyap also spoke about this issue. However, the discussion I'm referring to ended abruptly and didn't fully explore the topic. So, can you guys share your views on this problem a bit? And did you face this problem too while making Stolen?
What's
I
the
think,
problem?
problem I don't think we ever spoke of it as a problem right
Yeah.
yeah, no, it's not a problem. In fact, it was quite designed like that.
Yeah.
I
Uh,
mean, the festival circuits.
Not the festival circuit. Actually, the problem in distribution is not in the festival,
Okay.
it's the after the festival, because what is a film festival? Film festival is for us as filmmakers to showcase our work,
Yeah.
curate work, and distributors to buy it, and media to create some noise around it. So festival is a platform to do sales, you know so when you go and you present your film at a festival, there are distributors who come and say, "I want that film. I will pay this much money for you." Now, what happens in the theatrical business space is that it is a limited day. रात के 12 बजे के बाद से सुबह 9 बजे तक कोई फिल्म नहीं देखता है, लोग सोते हैं, है ना? तो अगर आप कहो मेरा पहला शो 9 बजे या 10 बजे लगता है, और लास्ट शो 10 रात के 10 बजे लगता है, जो खत्म होता है 12 साढ़े 12 बजे। अगर आप 2.5 घंटे की फिल्म बनाओगे, इफ यू मेक अ फिल्म विच इज 2.5 hours, you will realize that they will get less shows, because in between
अच्छा.
each shows there is a 15 to 20 minute cleaning time and people coming and sitting time, right? वो भी होता है अंदर आने की, बैक टू बैक तो चलता नहीं है, थोड़ा बीच में गैप होता
हाँ
है,
हाँ राइट
वर्ल्ड ओवर, राइट? क्योंकि क्लीन करना पड़ता है उन्हें हर उसके
राइट
बाद,
राइट.
राइट? सो उनको शो कम मिलता है फिर, सो द सेम प्रोडक्ट कैन रन मोर शोज, same film can run more shows if it's less length. In my films, in the past, Angry Indian Goddesses, Faith Connections, Beyond the Known World, were longer films. And when I interacted with distributors, they said, okay, we want to buy it. It has to be under 1 hour, 45 minutes, and we are ready to buy it. So
Hmm.
the theatrical business works like that because they get more shows, and the TV business or the OTT business, the attention span that the audience has is very less. And get on with it, like, because not they don't even let you read this credits of who made the film.
Yeah.
जैसे क्रेडिट आने लगते हैं नेक्स्ट फिल्म आ जाता
बंद
है.
हो जाता है, हाँ.
So audio, the OTT platform or any digital medium is based on retention of your attention.
Very
So
important, yeah.
there is no point making stuff which is so long unless the material itself defines that I need more time to establish this. Until the underlining material says that I need more time, in then you'd go for it, of course. Then it so R was ना, हमने ऐसा नहीं सोचा था. हमें ये पता था कि हमें 2 घंटे से ऊपर की फिल्म नहीं बनानी. ये हमें पहले से ही पता था. और जहां ऑर्गेनिकली लैंड करेगी वहां ऑर्गेनिकली लैंड करेगी. जहां तक वो हम लोगों का ऑडियंस होल्ड कर अटेंशन होल्ड कर सकते हैं, वहां तक हम अटेंशन होल्ड करेंगे इन आर केस. बट वी डेफिनेटली हैड इन माइंड, we don't want to make a film which is actually more than 2 hours. ये तो क्लियर था जब हम लिख रहे थे. और हमारी स्क्रिप्ट का लेंथ भी उतना था, हमारे एक्शंस भी वैसे टाइम थे, लोकेशंस भी ऐसी ढूंढी हुई थी. तो हमारे केस में ये पहले से ही डिजाइन था. बट लॉट्स ऑफ फिल्म्स फेस दिस प्रॉब्लम sometimes in theatrical distribution specifically, that their length is supposed to be certain length, so the theaters eventually show them and they can profit by an additional show. But our thing was, हम जब तक अटेंशन रोज कर सकते हैं. अगर वो 94 मिनट्स है तो 94, 100 है तो 100, 105 है तो 105. लेकिन हमें पता था कि ये हम 2 घंटे की फिल्म नहीं बना रहे. ये तो पहले दिन से क्लियर था
All right.
मटेरियल मटेरियल पे बहुत मैटर करता है, जैसे जीडी
एक्चुअली.
ने बोला.
तो रन टाइम पहले से इतना ही था जितना हम लोग अभी देख
अरे
रहे हैं.
लेकिन
यस.
सौम्या, मतलब वो कोई ऐसे डिसाइड नहीं करता है रन टाइम. वो
राइट,
फिल्म
राइट.
जब बनती है एडिट होने के बाद ना,
तब
वो देखते हैं कि
तब वो आ
मतलब.
जाती है अपने
और
आप.
वो रन टाइम डायरेक्टर का मतलब, आई डोंट थिंक एनीबॉडी इज थिंकिंग रन टाइम. दे आर जस्ट थिंकिंग टाइट फिल्म, है
या
ना.
Yes.
यू हैव एन एनिमल
बिल्कुल.
जो 3.5 घंटे की पिक्चर है और सुपर हिट.
हाँ.
या क्या कहते हैं, स्त्री भी दो
No,
घंटा
that's why I
पैंतालीस मिनट की
asked
थी.
this question. I mean, like, कोई एक फिल्म बना रहा है तो that might run for 200 minutes. तो इसको मतलब छोटा कर देना, कट करके, so I thought it
बट
might be a problem.
nobody is forcing you to do that.
All right.
ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. नो नो मल्टीप्लेक्स थोड़ी आके बोल रहे हैं प्रोड्यूसर्स को कि नहीं नहीं हमें इतने मिनट का चाहिए. ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. वो प्रोड्यूसर के ऊपर
All right, yeah. Guys, last question.
है.
This too is for everyone. Before we end this, we always ask our guests about their 5 favorite films. But since we are called High on Films, could you share some movies that you believe represent the cinematic high moments where you feel cinema truly reached its peak? Abhishek, you can start.
I think Pothe Panchali will be first. I mean, that I think is a must watch for every Indian, to see what happened, without any technology, nothing. I mean, just purely film based on emotion and characters. One of the most beautiful films I've ever seen in my life. Uh, then I'll go with, I think, Ganga Jamuna, Dilip Kumar.
Yeah.
Okay, that's another film जो मॉडर्नाइजेशन पे था, इंडस्ट्रियलाइजेशन पे था. इंडिया किस तरह से उस टाइम फेस कर रही थी. एंड वी ऑल्सो अंडरस्टैंड मोर इंडिया व्हेन यू वॉच 1950s and 1960s. Somehow the rural India just went away in the 70s and 80s. पहले रूरल ही बनता था. And those stories were all so Indian. Like if you want to like showcase to any other country, you can show them Mughal Azam or Ganga Jamuna or Guide or things like that. Then I think Garam Hawa for Balraj Sahni's performance. All Enthu actors should
Yeah.
watch that film for sure and see what a mind-blowing performance that man has given. And it's, I think, one of the most subtle actors, if I may call him, like the most real actors India has ever produced. Well, I'm a Bachchan fan, so Diwar,
Right.
Diwar can't be missed.
रहीम चाचा, जो 25 बरस में नहीं हुआ वो अब होगा.
Schindler's List. Yeah, that's मैं थोड़ा ईयर वाइज ही जा रहा हूँ. तो 1990s में आया था वो
हाँ,
Schindler's
ठीक
List.
है.
I think that's again, मतलब पता ही है, सबने देखा ही है. ऐसा कुछ
Right,
बहुत
right.
वो नहीं है. And
No, you have recommended 5 films, but you still, if you
अच्छा
want to
5 हो गया
recommend
तो
more.
बस खत्म बस. I don't want to take the pressure now. I don't want to take the pressure.
All right, so
Um,
Gaurav,
I
yeah,
yeah, I'll tell you three films that really affected. I mean, inspired me in the making of Stolen. I've always sort of shared these films, and I'll
yeah,
just
yeah,
share those because we're talking about Stolen. There are these three films called Son of Saul, Victoria, and Good Time.
yeah.
तीनों काफी अमेजिंग मूवी है और उसके बाद दो पिक्चरें मैं इंडिया की पिक करता हूँ, which have always have had a very big impact. अभी पाथर पचौरी उन्होंने बोल दी, बिल्कुल सही बात है. Outside of that, also Salam Bombay and Ardh Satya. I was very moved by.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
For me, I mean, we are talking India or globe?
No, you can just pick. I mean, from
हाँ, तो
global
एक
also.
दो तीन इंडिया बोलता हूँ, दो तीन बाहर की बोलता हूँ. सत्या is something that really impacted me, you know, and I always aspire to tell stories in that manner, you know, in a very realistic, highly dramatic, uh,
Yeah,
you know, and very cleverly
Tej
done.
Ram Gopal Verma.
Yeah, very, very good. Really, really admire. Rang De Basanti is a film which I also line produced.
Oh yeah.
Really left a big impact on me. कुछ केटी ने भी ली है पॉथेर एंड यू नो अर्ध सत्या इज आल्सो समथिंग लाइक दैट बट आई वुड से इन इन इंडिया जाने भी दो यारो
Jana Vidor, yeah, very good.
is something that I'm very inspired by. It's like something that I feel like it's a masterpiece, really masterpiece. And in internationally also, I like this film called Babel, you know, Anaritu. I really like that filmmaker a lot. You know, I like Seven, if you've seen.
7, yeah.
Yeah,
2 Brad Pitt films, yeah. I mean,
yeah, yeah. So I particularly like thrillers a lot and comedy a lot. So it's mostly mix of that. Then there are many more, but of course, these are the ones that are coming to my mind.
all right. So, thank you so much for joining. I wish
Thank
you all
you.
the best for Stolen.
Thank
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 you.
you
you.
so much.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you so much.
Soumalya. Thank you.